is new to Chiappucci, and his Carrera team will need to be careful on this hilly 13th stage from Villard de Lans to Saint-Étienne. The field are happy to be going away from the steep climbs of the Alps. Frenchman Laurent Biondy is one rider, though, who needs attention from the race doctor. He's suffering from heat sickness and takes a pill to steady his dizziness. The Tour de France has a tremendous backup team. The only thing the doctors can't do is ride the bicycle. A Carrera rider crashes, and with him a rider from Helvetia La Suisse is also down. And Dutchman Martin Ducrot needs a pain-killing spray after another crash. In the pack, Claudio Chiappucci moves up, shadowed by Miguel Indurain. The race leader is nervous about a 30-man breakaway which contains Ronan Pensek, and it's gained 90 seconds. With his yellow jersey endangered, Chiappucci joins his teammates to chase down the dangerous move. It needs a tremendous effort under the midday sun. Greg LeMond counter-attacks with Indurain, Hampsten and Eric Breking, and they soon pass the remnants of the breakaway. Surprised by the attack, Delgado and Bunyo chase desperately with Larreta. They're already 90 seconds behind. Miguel Indurain is told to wait, but he takes a quick drink first. In front, Hampsten comfortably follows Eduardo Chozas, Eric Breking and the energetic Greg LeMond. The defending Tour champion knows that he has to make up every second and minute he can on the precocious Chiappucci. Approaching the summit of the Poix de Chauberet climb, LeMond still leads Breking, Hampsten, Chozas and Roberto Conti. Behind, Indurain has closed the gap to only 20 seconds and momentarily sits up to wave Bunyo, Delgado and Larreta through. Back down the mountainside, an exhausted Chiappucci is all alone, with no teammates strong enough to help him now. And at the top, the yellow jersey leads a small group more than 4 minutes behind. In front, Greg LeMond piles on the pressure. He now has a chance to take time out of Chiappucci. While Indurain again leads the chasers at 60 miles an hour on the swerving descent towards Saint-Étienne. LeMond rides flat out all of the way to the finish, where he's content to watch his companions fight out the stage result. And that goes to Eduardo Chozas on the left from Eric Breking. LeMond's attack has blown the race wide open. Chiappucci is almost 5 minutes behind. Pensek nearly 8.
What was the situation with you and Delgado? What were you aware of in terms of you two during particularly the end of the race?
Delgado, I wasn't sure how much we had in front of him. I had no idea until I finished the race how much time I had on Delgado.
And with regard to Pensek today?
I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking of eliminating Chiappucci, and Delgado was behind. A lot of riders were behind.
You intended coming into this race to ride it hard and make everyone else ride a hard race. Did you do it to your satisfaction?
Oh, I think there's some people who are suffering today. Yeah.
And how about you?
Oh no, I felt great. I mean, I felt great until the last 2 kilometers. I just all of a sudden ran out of liquids. I got like what we call the bonk. Just the last 2 kilometers.
And how important, though, was it for you to win this stage?
I don't even think about winning this stage. I'm thinking about winning the Tour de France.
So what about tomorrow?
Another day that's going to be difficult. I mean, these days are very dangerous. It's really hot, hard. Anything can happen. But I'm confident I'll be good tomorrow too.
Were the mountain climbs harder today because of the heat?
Oh, I'm sure that it wasn't a hard climb. It was made the day harder, yeah. Again, I think a lot of people were dehydrated. I was getting there at the end.
Thanks,
Still
Greg.
feel, I feel.
Yeah, you seem a little bit spaced.
I am. I'm like out of oxygen. It's like
Yeah.
dizzy.
Sit down if you want.
I want to get out of here.
Okay. Thanks, Greg.
The 14th stage traverses the hills of central France to a mountain-top finish at Millau. It's a ride of 205 kilometres. The start is at the medieval town of Le Puy, complete with a firing cannon. The 168 survivors climb away from the town, facing 5 hours again in the saddle. The attacks soon begin, with 5 breaks developing in the opening half of the stage. There is a long descent into the Tarn Gorge with 60 kilometres to go. Where the peloton is still riding slowly, crossing the river and heading downstream towards Millau. Frenchman Jean-Claude Bagot has broken clear of the front group. He hopes for a stage win. But the peloton behind has finally started to move. Descending quicker than most, the Italian rider Bruno Cenghialta catches up with Jean-Claude Bagot. And together they start to work. French champion Philippe Louviot also tries to catch the leaders. But the pack is getting closer as the final finishing climb approaches. And as Volkswagen leads team leader Greg LeMond up the mountain at Millau, the breakaways have been wiped out. The pack is together at the front. It's a long climb to the finish. A sudden attack comes from the normally passive La Diretta, and he puts in a massive effort. He doesn't know whether there are riders still ahead of him or not. This charismatic Basque rider once had a fan protect him from the rain on a Spanish climb by running alongside him, holding an umbrella. But today, La Diretta needs no help at all. A look over his shoulder and the gap is there. La Diretta decides to keep going. There's a chase from behind by Gianni Bugno and that man, Miguel Indurain, having a marvellous Tour de France. Then comes a Colombian, William Palacio. He also takes up the pursuit. And the small group behind has again dropped Claudio Chiappucci, the yellow jersey. Greg LeMond and Delgado step on the gas together. And they are followed by Palacio and the rest of the pack. Raul Alcala is the last rider of the group. By the finish, Marino La Diretta has stayed away on his own, but he still believes there are other riders in front of him, and he forgoes the normal victory salute. 24 seconds later, Miguel Indurain rides away from Bugno to take second, while Alcala sprints from the back to take fourth from LeMond and Breking. So to stage 15, the roads are flatter as the riders face 170 kilometres from Millau to Revel. This area in the south of France is steeped in history from Roman times. For the riders, there is no initial need to hurry, as the next battleground for LeMond, Chiappucci, Delgado and Breking is the upcoming Pyrenees. On the lesser climbs, the battle still remains, though, for points in the King of the Mountains title. But for a while, the field in general rolls along together. Charlie Motte, who lost his chance of winning this race in the Alps, is anxious to show himself as a stage contender at least. And the Frenchman attacks at every opportunity, attempting to start a breakaway move that might help him win the day. Caught, Motte keeps the pressure on and is soon ahead again. This time he has a strong ally in his teammate and King of the Mountains leader, Thierry Claverola. Claverola continues to enjoy a great tour as well. Tour leaders watch from afar as Motte's group gains ground. "30 kilometres from Revel, Motte breaks clear alone, loading up with drink for the final push to the finish. Charlie Motte finished second in this year's Tour of Italy, hence the reason for making him a pre-tour favourite. He's also one of the finest riders when racing alone at speed, and his lead quickly builds to over 3 minutes. The Tour leaders have no longer any interest in Charlie Motte, so he continues to gain time. He plays to an enormous crowd on top of the last climb of the day. France and Motte were finally enjoying a great day out. He arrives at the finish over 2 minutes in front, with no change overall among the leaders, except that a split in the field near the end has given Pierre Pucci a bonus of a few seconds gain over Greg LeMond.